Okay, Taye.
How you feeling?
So do you speak any Amharic?
Nah, just changing my name, correcting my
Okay.
name. I would love to. I would definitely
Okay.
love to learn.
Okay. Great. Where are you living? Where are you stationed?
Man, I'm in Uganda right now. I'm in the city of Kampala.
Oh, you are. Oh, very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Habari
Yeah.
gani?
Oh yeah, likewise, likewise. I've been traveling the continent. So I'm looking for a place to kind of put my flag down. I definitely want to live in Africa for sure.
So, what other countries you been traveling to?
And on the continent, I've been to about almost 20 African countries. I've been up and down. South Africa, Botswana, Madagascar, Seychelles, Comoros, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Egypt. I've been to the west side, Cape Verde, Senegal, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, couple more. I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
Great, great. So, which one on the East Coast do you have do you have a favorite on the East Coast that you like?
Man, that's hard. I don't know. I like Madagascar a lot. I like Ethiopia a lot. I like the culture. I mean, the people are very, very beautiful. The culture, I like it a lot. Tanzania is nice. I love Zanzibar, the beach. Where else on the Kenya is nice. I like Mombasa. Mombasa was real cool.
You been to
Um,
Lamu?
Lamu, where is that?
That's an island off the coast of Mombasa.
Oh, okay. I think I might have heard of that place. I haven't got a chance to hang out over there yet.
Okay, it's like a Zanzibar. It's the Zanzibar of
Right.
Kenya.
Yeah, because I could see some similarity in Kenya and Tanzania. It's the same little area, but Now I gotta ask you. Now I read you've been to Africa 50 times. So how many African countries you done been to?
I've been 50 years. I've been traveling to Africa. My
Wow.
trips range from anywhere from a week to 3 months, typically 6 weeks. And my first trip was in '71, and I lived in Ghana the summer of '71 and '72. Sorry, '72 and '73, and then the summer of '74 in Senegal. And I go back as often once a year, sometimes twice a year. And for working on this book, Sacred Nile, my best trips have been where I could spend at least 6 weeks to just sink into the research, which I think I've been able to do for about maybe 25 times. And so that's, and if I had to think of favorites in West Africa, I think the number one would be for me Senegal, and the number two would be Ghana. And if I had to think of favorites on the East African coast, I would say number one would be it's hard, but I think number one would be Ethiopia. Number two would be Rwanda. And in North Africa, I think it would be Egypt. Uh, and yeah, I like the Cameroons, but there are problems in the Cameroons right now. Like there are problems in South Sudan, there are problems in the Congo. There's problems in northern Mali. And all of these problems have their roots in colonialism and colonial interests. But I'm ready for your questions.
Right, right. I ain't gonna hold you up because I know you're a busy man. So it's definitely an honor for me to even get a chance to speak to you. But to kind of touch on that, I mean, is it even, I guess, possible or or practical for Africa to kind of get on one accord? And from your perspective, what is preventing that?
Corruption. The only thing wrong with Africa is mismanagement. And there's only one way, and it's lack a lack of lack of space for Africa. In order to make money in Africa, there's tend to be one industry, and that's the government. So what is not developed yet is a private, commercial venue pathway, and You know, so that's a challenge, but it's also the challenge is education. The African children get the education that have been dictated by outsiders, by colonialists. African people, children don't get history lesson about Africa, about their own continent, and history lesson about the the zigzag in their cultures. They've had zigzag in their borders. Because of invaders. They've had, as uh, Kenyatta said in his book, when the white men came, when the missionaries came, they had the land, and the white men had the Bible, and asked them to kneel down and close their eyes. And when they opened their eyes, they had the Bible, and the white men had all the land. Kenya is a very interesting situation. But here's again a history story: how the British came in, and even though the Messiah and people say no, we don't want you here, what the British did is they found out a way to be subversive and to bring in cattle with disease, and these diseased cattle infected the herds of all the cattle of the Messiah. And with cattle dying, and people begin to have malnutrition issues, because if you notice in East Africa, the cattle is very important because it feeds the whole family. It feeds them with milk, with cheese, with meat, the whole thing. So it's the original currency, and if you destroy the currency of the people, then the people collapse from within. These are the stories that African children need to know, because a child does not realize that there was a different reality from the parent. The child is born into a reality, and whatever that reality is, they think is normal. So that's the value of having history lessons, true history lessons taught, so that the child is aware and suspicious, like what the Chinese have done. And also, what the Chinese have done is quite interesting. If you look around the world, those people who've accepted the white God of the Europeans are in bad shape. Only the countries that have refused to accept and replace their God with the white European God are making great strides. India, China, because they listen to their own God. Because if you accept another person's God for yourself, there's no way that you can measure up, and it's quite delusional to think that the God of your oppressor is going to be going to handle you even handily when your oppressor abuses you.